How are you? How do you like your running back?
Excuse me?
How do you like your running back?
Offensive line coach, but I guess our running backs are doing well.
How good is it to have Scott back?
That's really good. You know, he's obviously missed the game. We missed him. You know, he's done a good job for us in the past, and it's nice to get him in here in the spring and get some work in, knock the rust off, and just get him reacquainted to playing. You know, and obviously he's our center. Right now he's been doing a good job. He hasn't done anything to change anything. You know, I mean, he's kind of solidified that right now, and then you know, be another competitive situation once the season starts, once camp starts.
What areas has the group progressed this spring?
You know, we're progressing each day. You know, we're working on different things each day. One of the things we're trying to get is some continuity. You know, but we have some moving parts. Obviously, there's guys that have been playing there for a number of years, and you know, we're trying to find new guys to replace them. In doing so, we have some guys coming back from injuries and different things, and so everybody's at different levels and different points. And we're just trying to get it to a point where we all come together as one and work together as a unit. It's hard to do with pieces, but we're trying to settle them, and especially in this system, you know, we're not going to move guys around as much because now we're working with tight ends and different things of that nature. So it's harder to move a guy from the inside to outside that isn't used to working with tight ends, and you know, so trying to get guys to settle down in one position. You know, and hopefully once we get some other guys here, we're at a little bit more depth, and you know, guys can get their legs in and get a little more rest at times.
Obviously, guys coming in the fall could change things, but how do you assess the guard competition right now?
It's a competitive deal. You know, we had Kwasi went out for a little bit with you know, he had a little bit of a setback. But he's doing really well before that. You know, it's just new. You know, it's new to everybody. So from a physical standpoint, you know, they're competing. From a mental standpoint, it's a change from what we've been doing. There's some things that they'll really benefit us, but things that they're not used to doing. And some guys have been pretty here for a different system. You know, but through what Sal's been doing in the weight room and some of the things that Coach KP has done in terms of helping us out with combos and different things of that nature, I think it'll be beneficial towards us once we get the swing of things.
Can you talk about how different it is going from kind of that spread tempo system for offensive linemen and now going to more of a downhill?
Well, you know, there's different things to it. You know, and what we're doing before is a lot harder in terms of pass protection because you're on an island. You're 5 islands. You know, you're still having to pass off games, so the splits are a little bit bigger. Now the splits are smaller, but you need to be more precise in your footwork, different things of that nature because you got guys playing real tight on you. Something that people forget when we're, you know, our snap count, you know, we were almost always off first down or is more rhythmic. This one, you know, there's different things in terms of the cadence switches, you know, making calls in between, audibilizing, different things of that nature. And it's just a matter of guys focusing. And the better they retain things and understand things, they comprehend things pre-snap, the less, you know, pre-snap procedures, penalties that we'll have. And as you've seen, that's gotten better as we've gone through. Now it won't be a finished product coming out of spring, but I expect to get better, and then throughout camp we'll get better with that as well. But there's a number of different things, little nuances that you don't think about, like the tackles aren't really used to being in 3-point stance. Then you have them setting out a little bit wider because they have a tight end next to them. Sometimes you have the tight end chipping, so understanding you got to stay heavy on the inside half. You know, guards, understanding fullbacks are coming through, tight ends are coming through and inserting, different things of that nature. So, you know, it's even more important being on the same level and all those different things. So there's certain nuances that are problematic initially just because they're not used to doing it, but the more repetitions we get, the better we're getting at it.
Getting Najee back, you know, for maybe a week last season and now getting him back for spring, are you pleasantly surprised with how well he's kind of taken to it again?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the run game, I mean, he has a knack for running power and those different things. I mean, that's all he did. He didn't pass block until his first game against Virginia. I mean, that's all they did was run power. You know, they had success in the N1 state championship this past year. But, you know, getting pass protection, that's where he struggles a little bit. Not so much picking up things and comprehending it, but just getting out of that mentality of being the aggressor. You know, I want to be aggressive with his hands, but not lunging with his hat and different things like that. And that's something that he's able to do on defense and really getting them out of that. You know, he's been over there for a while, and you know, getting out of that habit and learning, like, you know, you just sit back and when you punch, snap your head back and different things of that nature. So the little things, again, comes with repetition. You know, and the more we do it, the better he's going to get at it. But I'm really pleased at the way he's progressing, especially from being away from it for so long.
How good is this pair of tackles? What do you see from this?
They could be as good as they want to be. You know, I like them being obviously across the board. We could always be tougher. You know, for their size, 6'8" and 6'9", you know, they can be high at times. You know, that's one of the things we struggle with that last period right here. You get tired of them in practice, and all of a sudden they're standing straight up. And our defense is, you know, they're smart enough to know what it is. They go into them every day. Okay, let's just go speed the bull every single time, put our head in their chest. So I'm telling them, hey, you're going to go against guys that are as good or better than what you're seeing right here. And at the end of the game, the critical points when man measures man, you know, you got to, you know, You got to drop them, and you just get, you got to get after. You got to throw those hands, and then you got to be physical at the point. And it can't be a finesse game. It's a different, like I said, it's a different system. I think it's going to be beneficial towards us, for us. But you got to adjust to it, and adjust accordingly. Getting the 3-point stand, snap your hands, no wasted movement, all those different things. And they're learning and they're doing those things, but it is an adjustment.
What was it like for you when you heard Connor was coming back?
I was excited about it. That was the one guy I thought potentially might leave, and then he's the only one that didn't. So, I'm excited for those guys. Here, Caleb might be a second-round guy, and some people are looking at all those different things. So I'm excited for those guys. I fully support them. I'm really excited about it. I mean, obviously, if he would have left, we'd really be swimming a little bit. That changes everything. Losing guys like Dax and those guys a little bit early, and then having some injuries you've had, different things of that nature. So having him at a tackle position, to solidify that spot and not really have to worry about that is a really good thing. And Colton has a learning experience last year. Really young, got him there early, got quality time. And that's something that we can build on and build the foundation of what's to come. So he's getting better and better each day. He's pushing himself. He's come back a little tougher, a little more physical, a little more confidence. And even though he's a young guy, he's playing a little bit older than his age.
Coach, have you seen any progression from Zach Bateman?
Zach is not where I want him to be right now. Keep on working with him and different things. From a discipline standpoint, a lot of it comes down to just trusting his technique. You get in competitive situations, and guys get out there and they just want to win. And that's not always going to happen if you don't use your technique. So, it's one of those things you got to hammer it home every single day. And stay on top of him. And at some point, the onus has to be on him. He has to be accountable for himself. And some days he doesn't, some days he doesn't. But the thing that matters is me to get the most out of him. But he has to want to compete and challenge himself. It all comes out of technique. There's no excuses. An older guy like that, you can't. He's run out of time. And I still think. There's a chance for him in the future, but right now, not where we want to be, but we're working towards getting there.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.